minute, fella. Look here.
Stand by.
One for C-Lab, two for Draw Heego, three for Wolverine to round out the trio. In this episode, everybody dies.
Broadcasting live from inside the Power Band, this is The Blob. In this episode, everybody dies. I'm your host, Kevin, along with my super friends, Ben. Hello. And Chad.
Yo.
We're going to pull the dark lever. Lever. Welcome to the show, folks. This week we're talking about the 2022 film, The Batman, starring Jeffrey Wright, Robert Pattinson, Zoe Kravitz, John Turturro, Andy Serkis,
And
Colin
Marlon
Farrell.
Wayans as Robin.
And Marlon Wayans is Robin. Let's start the show. High level. Let's do it.
I want to throw in a high level where in my watching of a billion YouTube videos for this, I found out that Marlon Wayans was supposed to be Robin in Tim Burton's Batman Returns, which is fucking weird.
Wow. That is super weird. Marlon Wayans?
I know.
Like, what a odd choice, man.
Yeah. It's weird.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say
It's a
about that
choice.
yet.
Mm-hmm. Okay. High level on this. Okay, so we've never done. Have we done a Batman movie? No, we haven't done a Batman movie yet.
Have we not? Yeah, I don't think
No. Well, Justice League.
We've argued about Nolan's Batman trilogy about 53 times.
That's true, and we know everybody knows Benny's feelings on Batman.
Yeah.
So this is somewhat of a one giant death for him.
Yeah.
But this is an interesting movie. So let's dive in and explore. Benny, you want to go first on some high level?
Yes.
Yes.
I will go first. As you so astutely put it, everybody knows I am not the biggest. It's not that I hate Batman, it's that Batman has been done to fucking death.
Yep.
So with that being said, obviously I wasn't really looking forward to this. However, I liked it.
What?
Hey, Mikey, I think he likes it.
Oh boy.
You know? Maybe it's because I went in with like the lowest of expectations, but I don't think so. I think it was genuinely good and one of the better renditions that I've seen. So I'll leave it there.
I
like it. Very happy to hear that. Chadwick, go ahead.
Yeah, similarly, man. I didn't have high expectations. I know that, Kev, you're a fan of the Baffmans, and I am like very much not a fan of the Baffman movies. So I don't know. I kind of felt like post Nolan, it all kind of fell apart pretty hard. And when they were like Robert Pattinson, I was just like, for fuck's sake, are you kidding me? Before I kind of saw him in a bunch of stuff that he's done recently. So I definitely had the Twilight dude, what the fuck reaction that I think a lot of other people had.
Yeah.
It's Richard Cullen.
But he's fucking great in Tenet and The King, I think it's called, with what's his name?
Sure.
With Paul from Dune. Timothy Chalamet and
Chalamet.
He's in a bunch of good stuff, and
Wow.
he's definitely got some chops. My Batman voice was coming out, and
Oh, there you go.
yeah, I think I had low expectations. I really, really try really hard to not watch any trailers or hear anything about these types of movies because I feel like for me they spoil my impression. And I was whelmed. I enjoyed it. I definitely think it has bits and pieces that are a little bit off the mark, but it was a fucking solid movie, and I think it's certainly one of the better movies. I don't think at this stage on first viewing that it's better than the Nolan stuff. I realize the Nolan stuff is different in tone, but but I'm really looking forward to kind of watching it and other Batman movies over time and kind of seeing how it settles. I've definitely noticed with this show that first impressions tend to change when you watch these kinds of things a few more times. But first viewing, yeah, it was good. I liked the tone. The cinematography was fucking fantastic. Cast was solid as. I was delighted because I didn't know people like Turturro were in it. So every time somebody came on, or Circus, I was like, yes, you know, so that was cool. And I dug it.
Totally. I'm glad. Yeah, definitely a fan of, I mean, I've said this before, I loved Batman versus Superman, especially the extended version. I like Baffman. Here's what I really like. I like all of the different takes on Batman. Like that, I really dig. Like they don't always nail the mark, but I like that they've done different takes on it, you know, where at this point it's like every Marvel movie is exactly the same and it looks the same and it feels the same and I don't know, that's a little bit more tedious to me, you know. So like I was psyched for like yet another interpretation of of Batman, and we got it in this, you know. I mean, yeah, of course Nolan's movies are, you know, probably bar none the best. Like the original with Michael Keaton is awesome.
Iconic.
Yeah, iconic. And I think for me anyway, Batman Begins is like the next best Batman.
Mm-hmm.
I love that movie even more so than The Dark Knight. Everybody always talks about The Dark Knight, but I really think Batman Begins is the one. So this was very cool. It kind of had a little year one going on and a little smidgen of Long Halloween and, you know, some other stuff in there. But I just really love this take on Batman, you know. Right? I get the perception that he's been done to death, or the perspective, rather, that he's been done to death. And yeah, you can kind of say that he has been done to death. But that's where I say, like, I like all the different takes on him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this is definitely a good one and worth watching, man. You know, multiple times, too. Like, really good. And, like, all the other players, too, were just excellent, man. You know, Jeffrey Wright is just so good.
Solid ass, man.
Yeah, for real. And Turturro, like, I'll watch anything he does. That guy's so great.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I'll leave it at that for now.
Did either of you guys watch it more than once?
I did.
Yeah, I watched it most of twice. Although on the second viewing, I definitely got distracted.
Yeah, whatever. How did you guys find it the second time around?
But yeah, it was what I remembered.
I like it.
I did twice and a half. I never have time to like sit and watch. Certainly nothing that's 3 hours long, like in one shot.
Mm.
But I did get to watch it twice, and then I started watching it again last night and kind of got through a little bit more today. And, you know, it's long enough that I'm still kind of absorbing the story, you know, and absorbing a lot of the things that go on. So it's the kind of like 3 hour situation where it's like, oh, I didn't catch that the first time. Oh, I didn't catch that the second time. So yeah, I was all about it, you know. I'll definitely be watching this again, you know, multiple times, I'm sure.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I feel like a second watch for me will really help it sink in a bit.
Yeah, definitely. There's just a lot of material there. I think that's the other part of it.
Yeah, maybe
like 3 hours is a lot. Yeah,
maybe kind of staying in the atmosphere a little bit. I really appreciated that they maybe finally is a bit of a silly word to say, but finally kind of went with the detective side of Batman a bit more, which I really dug.
Definitely.
And I'm sure the noir stuff was giving you a noir boner, Kev, but the detective stuff was great. Well,
I think the two go hand in hand, you know, and it's like, it's kind of noir-y because Gotham's kind of like that, you know, and Benny and I were talking about this after you jumped off last week, but, you know, it really had the, you know, very much like a Crow vibe to it. It was just the rain, the constant rain, you know, I really liked that a lot.
Yeah, I was getting a Serious 7 vibe.
Yeah, I could see that too. Wow, I didn't even think about that one.
In the sense that the movie's basically 7. You know, two dudes try and find a serial killer in a rainy city.
But I think the original comment was the focus on the detective part.
Yeah.
Which I really liked a lot too. You know, it's like, let's see like a murder mystery, dude. Like that's what this was, you know, and kind of less on the action, and that was fine, you know?
I'm totally over the world-saving Kill Space Hitler fucking giant Justice League action sequence with like 5 people flying in the air. You know, it's just like I don't need any of that ever again.
I agree. I'd rather watch that Batman kid video with the cereal and shit when he knocks out his mom.
Exactly.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That was fucking great, by the way.
Right. It was.
when his little buddy comes over dressed like the Joker. That was just like
so funny.
What the fuck?
He's so good though, because he sounds just like Bale when he's doing that thing with the screaming. You know, it's so good.
With the dog.
Where is it? Where is it?
Did you guys watch that silly Batman video I sent you?
Yeah. I started to.
I'd seen it.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, it's fucking great.
Are you talking about the one where Adam West his face was like superimposed and yeah, that was funny, dude.
It's great.
He's like running down the street with the bomb and then the seawall blows up.
So
That was
good.
funny.
It was exactly what Benny was talking about when he said he wanted a silly Batman. I was so into it.
No, it wasn't exactly.
I know, but it was exactly what I pictured. Maybe it wasn't exactly what you pictured, but I love it.
So going back to the whole like any other thoughts on the detective kind of
Any other thoughts on Batman Kid?
no, that's what I would usually say.
Other than fucking 3 thumbs up to no saving the universe story. It was refreshing. You know, it's funny to find a Batman movie even partially refreshing because the Batman movies have become like the fucking cup of Mountain Dew that sat on your desk for a week. Like it's flat as fuck. And it was just nice to see something a little bit different. I definitely enjoyed the Dark Lever, and I don't know, like I dig detective-y kind of stuff sometimes, and I dug it. It was just like, thank fuck I'm not watching, you know, fucking Jim Carrey prancing around in a green suit, you know? So I vibe with the detective thing, for sure.
Yeah, and Tommy Lee Jones acting like a total nut.
No doubt.
Okay, cool. What did you think about all that, Ben?
I don't know. I mean, it was still pretty grand, but maybe it was just on a enough of a scale that it wasn't overwhelming. And I found the story to be engaging. It kept my attention. It was paced well. You know, there wasn't a shit ton of action, but what there was pretty good, man. Some really, really excellently filmed fight scenes and stuff in this. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if it was because it was a detective thing and I have a thing about detective movies, but you know, it was a good story.
Yeah, exactly. Very well crafted, man. There was a lot of
I was definitely picking up on the Seven vibes, like Chad.
Yeah.
It was well crafted, you know, like you could tell there was a lot of thought put into it, you know, which I really liked.
Yeah. I think one of the, like when you were saying it was well crafted, I enjoyed how the story unfolding brought people like Catwoman, Selena Kyle, and the Penguin, and you know, Falcone and all those people out instead of it just being like ba-ba-da-ba, and fucking Catwoman steps out and she's like, I'm Catwoman, fuck all you guys, you know. It was like,
because that's what Catwoman says.
that's her call sign, right?
I'm Catwoman, fuck all you guys.
Catwoman.
Well, I mean, that's basically every cat in the world's attitude, isn't it? That's kind of what I'm
There's no question about that. Yes.
I think if it was really realistic, it would be, I'm Catwoman, look at my asshole.
Yeah, check out my butthole. Yeah, exactly. And
behold my asshole.
Please excuse me while I type things on your keyboard.
Yeah.
Is that a laser pointer?
So it was just nice. It was nice that it was just fucking a normal. It was nice that it was story driven. It wasn't like introduce the next huge character and then we'll fucking glue stick a fucking story to it. You know?
Yeah, right.
It's such basic filmmaking, but they have fallen so far from it that it was refreshing to watch a normal fucking movie.
Well, it's just, you know, just tell the story, man. Let the chips fall where they may. You know, it's like, this is what you get. You know, you get a really engaging experience, you know, that's enjoying and entertaining to watch, man. You know?
Yeah. Even
because you're
sorry.
Yeah. No, you go.
Even Batman, like, he was so fucking emo in this, but it fit. It totally fit with him trying to figure out, you know, who and what the Batman is and how he, like, clearly hadn't developed an understanding that his quote-unquote Bruce Wayne character could be used as a tool for, you know, bringing good things about in Gotham. Like, he was super fucked up and super sad sacks and shit, but it totally fit.
Yes.
Yeah, he definitely.
And so even just the dark bullshit was done in a much more realistic way.
He was definitely like, I don't want to put on my Bruce Wayne costume, Alfred.
Exactly. Exactly. Fucking fuck.
I'm the Bat.
Yeah, I don't care about my money. Get me my really expensive bat suit.
I dig that. He was kind of like, that's where like the kind of the year one
Sure.
kind of element kicked in, where he's still kind of discovering, what it was all about. Like, and we get a dose of that at the end, which I really, really liked, seeing him carrying that hurt child at the end, like helping everybody clean up. You know what I mean? Like it was just so much better than like, the Batman creeping around in the shadows, beating people up. But,
Yeah.
It was good to see that the different sides. That was one of the things I really liked about this, was that we get to see him in all of these different scenarios that we never see in the Batman movies. I figured you'd like that, Ben. It's like helping clean up after the disaster, and like connecting with the people that he's protecting. And then just like the whole, like we're straight away in the beginning, like he's walking into the crime scene with Gordon, man. It's just like walking in, and everybody sees him and like they're reacting to him and he's somewhat interacting with them. And, we get to see that a lot in this. And I really, really like that a lot, man.
Mm-hmm.
And him like, just like same thing with like the Iceberg Lounge, just like rolling up to the front door. And then just waltzing in there, literally, instead of him like, ninjing in some,
through the
and
ceiling,
just appearing out of nowhere. Like I kind of, there was a part of me that was missing like the ninja kind of action, like I was kind of craving like just one little taste of that, in this, because I think it would have looked super cool.
There was a bit of it.
Yeah, a little bit. But at the same time, I really just loved like, so many scenes, like just the slow, deliberate walk into the scene and the action. Like it was powerful and it was cool and different, man.
It was a very horror movie, like Jason Voorhees or whatever, slowly walking towards the victim kind of thing.
Yeah, I didn't really even think about that, but it was. There's so many scenes that we see that, The beginning scene in the subway, the Coulson scene, like, when he's walking in with Gordon, like so many of the scenes are like that. Him just kind of slowly walking in, like assessing the situation and, trying to figure out what's going on. Detecting.
Slowly walking in with the loudest boots in the world.
Yeah, totally.
I love the Foley on his boots.
And yes, he did look totally emo, Chad.
Especially with the eye makeup. Fuck, it was great.
Oh my God, dude. So
I liked it, and maybe that's definitely a Crow vibe.
There's your Crow vibes.
Sure. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, exactly. Total Crow vibes, and totally like I'm so tired from liking my boyfriend. Kind of like that's what I think of when I think of emo.
Love it.
I loved I dreaded like sort of the I'll call it the fourth act of this film, like because you kind of feel like it's over when they nab the Riddler, but then like the sort of last act is yet to come, and it was already like 2 hours plus into the movie, and I'm like, oh come on, man, seriously, like oh my God, there's still so much left, fuck. But I ended up loving it because it gave the movie some heart, I mean, I think it's the first time I can recall seeing Batman like carrying somebody injured or helping to like
exactly
clean up and stuff in a movie, so.
Yeah,
it brought a really much needed dimension, I thought,
Definitely.
Yes, definitely. Nicely said.
Yeah, added some hope and some heart. I thought that was great. And also, I did enjoy watching him totally fucking Leeroy Jenkins into that club.
No doubt. Great. You mean like in the beginning, when he rolls in there and like, he's not.
Like you were saying, he doesn't like ninja in and like, sneak and like figure out a way. He just basically like goes up at the front door and goes, Leeroy Jenkins!
I love it.
passed.
Oh, he didn't have any backup, so.
No, none whatsoever.
I love how punchy he was, dude. He would fucking
Yeah.
he just like punch a dude. The dude would get knocked out and fall down, and then he just like get down on a knee like GTA and just punch you like 60 more times in the face. You're like, bro, all right, he's down, man.
Yeah,
It was fucking
he
great.
definitely pulled a Ralphie up on that platform there, at the end of the movie.
Yeah, but it was also like he wasn't so like kind of ultimate. You know what I mean? Like there's just so many instances in this movie where you see him take a hit or multiple hits or get knocked down. You know what I mean? Which is typically kind of only in like the boss fights and stuff, you know, and like in movies past, you know. But in this one, it was like, you know, we see this kind of I don't know, like this isn't exactly the right word, but like fallible, you know. You see this kind of fallible Batman he's
not superhuman.
Yeah,
he's definitely
he's not
fallible.
well, he's not superhuman. I mean, fallible is not the right word at all. But like, he's not superhuman. But like in terms of like going up against like normal people, he you know, again, like he wasn't just like totally dominating. I guess is the, you know, like.
Well, I mean, also like he and Gordon were not above getting shit wrong that they were investigating either. You know, like,
yeah.
There was, you know, there were chinks in the armor, and there was, you know, a bit of believability gained by making him more fallible, you know, or less or more vulnerable, or you know, however you want to put it.
No,
but,
total agree, dude. And nothing, and no scene better exemplifies that, Ben, than like the scene when they grab the penguin and they're kind of wailing on him in the abandoned building, and he's just like, "You guys are so stupid, man. You know, how do you don't? It's
No habla
la,
español.
not L.
Yeah,
right."
It's fucking great.
And then he realizes that it's URL. Like that was just great, you know.
Yeah.
And they were kind of like, yeah, all right, we gotta go.
See ya.
You know, and then they just nope out. It was great. You know, it added a little bit of levity to it without being annoying, you know. So
I know it was super, super obvious, but I didn't pick up on it when I watched it. But having the penguin duct taped and walking off, he waddles off like a penguin, which I thought was when that was pointed out, I was like, oh yeah, that's obvious, but super funny.
Yeah, no, it was good, man. So
maybe just a tiny little segue there. I think that there's quite a bit of subtle kind of realistic humor in this movie, and I was only very, very lightly Salt Bae sprinkled in, but I'm curious if you had thoughts on the humor in this one, Kev.
I like that you just made a nice Salt Bae reference.
Hey, man,
firstly,
you know.
Secondly,
Salt Bae doesn't sprinkle lightly though. He
no,
you know.
he doesn't.
Well, this is Salt Bae who doesn't have any more salt anymore, so he's very sparing with his salt because he ran out of salt, according to that article on Salt Bae Weekly.
And to be fair to Chad, he did say lightly Salt Baed.
Lightly Salt Bae. Okay, all right.
But I think like the only other thing I really remember was like when he goes, "You got a lot of cats."
Yeah, it's stuff like that though. It's just like little wise ass comments.
Well,
a few of them,
right? But like it wasn't. They didn't like make a thing out of it. You know what I mean? Like Like I was complaining about Homecoming, you know, and rightly so. With like the humor was really bothering me because it's like it was so obviously injected in there, and like in this, the couple of little bits of levity that they have in there are. They're more well crafted, you know, like like taping up the penguin's feet. You know what I mean? Like you'd have done that anyway. You know what I mean? So I don't know if I'm explaining what I'm trying to say right, but like it's like the cat comment.
You hate humor, and that's
don't like funny stuff.
Humor, your heart's black, and you should die.
Yeah,
that's it. Yes,
that pretty much sums it up. To be fair, yeah,
pretty much sums it up for me.
Yep.
Just on the fourth act stuff, I feel like one of the things that it was, again, very normal in a movie, but very not normal in a Batman movie, is Batman finally had a bit of a fucking arc instead of just being this flat ninja fucking dude. Like, he starts off in a subway station beating the living fuck out of a bunch of, minions, and the victim is like, please don't hurt me, you know? So he's terrifying to everyone. And by the end, he's become more iconic in Gotham as a result of his actions, you know? Like, he's finding his feet.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Which is so much more refreshing than like, oh, my mommy and daddy got killed. And then all of a sudden he's like, oh, I'm going to kill everybody, you know, running around like a fucking grappling, hooking around the place, you know?
Totally.
Yes. And enough already with like the, you know, we've already seen the origin story in every single Batman movie that's come out. Like,
dude, it was so nice not to have to watch the Wayans die again. Like, who cares, dude?
For a split second, on the first watching, at the very beginning of the movie, it's like, you know, clearly it's from Riddler's perspective, and he's kind of casing the thing. And I was like, is that Bruce Wayne's dad? Are we gonna? Please no.
Please God no.
Please God no. Like I totally thought it was going to be the origin story, and thank God it wasn't. But
I didn't do that. I didn't think that, and I'm glad, because I would have been so mad, even though that's not what they did. I would have gotten myself all worked up that I don't know if once I realized it was not Bruce Wayne's dad, I don't know if I would have been able to have calmed myself down by that point. It's funny. That was a cool scene, man. I really dug. It was very horror movie jump scary bullshit, but like just the way that they cut the Riddler standing in the room, man, it was like, fuck, that's cool. He's super sinister.
Ooh, that was creepy. Yeah, that was cool. I like that a lot.
I'm waiting to see how the Riddler's costume ages, you know, like
sure.
Part of me is like, that's actually pretty genuinely creepy, you know, and then the other part of me is like, it's kind of stupid.
Yeah, I kind of had the same thought. I was kind of like, he kind of like, before you really get to see him, you know, you kind of like, wow, he just looks like he made that out of like garbage bags. You know what I mean? like from a distance, like at a shallow glance, you know, it's like garbage.
He looks like one of those people that's like didn't bring a raincoat and it rained and they like grab a garbage bag and fucking walking around town. Yeah, totally.
But instead he crafted an entire like rain suit out of it and then put his glasses on. Yeah.
put a gimp hat on and put his glasses on. All right.
Yeah,
definitely had a sort of a gimp mask vibe going on there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
In terms of the costume, like I feel like it's got a Cillian Murphy vibe from Scarecrow, where at the time in the Nolan movies, I was like, oh, that's a super creepy kind of costume, and now it's just like, bro, you kind of stole your mom's burlap from her fucking gardening shed and wrapped around your head a bunch of times. Like, I definitely vibe with you that this costume might not age as well, because I don't feel like the Scarecrow costume really aged well.
I haven't seen that in a while, but yeah, I don't know, man. I liked the kind of the reality of the Nolan series, you know, how he kind of grounded it in reality. But this one was the same, just different. Like I liked that the suit, like the Riddler suit, was like plausibly, you know, kind of crafted. It wasn't like some,
you know,
like it wasn't like a full body unitard with like fucking stupid question marks all over it, too.
Right?
You know, I mean, not to, you know, Jim Carrey's notwithstanding, but
let's face it, Jim Carrey isn't the origin of that either.
No.
I mean,
it comes from the
original
Frank portrayal. No,
wasn't it Frank Gershon that did the original?
No, it was Gina Gershon.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah. It was Cathy Heguy.
It was Cathy Heguy's dad.
It was Cathy Heguy.
Yeah, there you go. I think, but anyway, so I like that the suit was very practical. Like the mask was simple, something that you could buy almost anywhere, you know, because then his like, you know, his people end up all wearing the mask and the glasses and, you know, at the end of the story, you know?
Yeah.
Very V for Vendetta.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, it was a little V for Vendetta for sure, but I thought like all the costuming was like that. Like Catwoman, you know, it's just like she was wearing like a leather suit and then she just had a you know, kind of like a basic, you know, like a what's that kind of hat called?
Like she cut the bottom off of the ski mask or something. Like,
well, yeah, it was just like, it was kind of like a beanie or whatever, like just, you know, like a winter hat, and like cut the hole out, but like there were no ears on it per se, but it was just like that the hat was sideways, so it kind of looked like ears. You know what I mean? And
I love those little ear things, man.
Yeah, I liked it though because it was again almost even more grounded in reality than the Nolan costumes, you know, and Batman's suit was very straight up armor, and practical. And I absolutely loved the one single batarang that was large, cool. that was his symbol, like I did not see that coming at all. And I thought that was a great way to do that, but when you look at the rest of him, like, yes, he's got the grapple guns and all that stuff, like, but I don't know. He didn't like overuse it, and everything seemed very kind of like tactical and practical at the same time. Like I even dug like the total like the wingsuit, man.
Dude, that was
took
sick.
Flight. I was like, wow, that is a really interesting and different take on him flying and all. Yeah, exactly, man.
It was so much more realistic. Like, I just love that it was like,
yes,
oh shit, and he dives down and then gets clipped. Like it's so much more real that he has it as a tool, but doesn't know how to use it yet and stuff. And I dug that a lot.
And that it had a parachute as well. It wasn't just like a
right.
Like in the Nolan Batman, they kind of did the same thing, but he was. I guess he had it a little more dialed in, or whatever you want to say. Like this was much more like when you add a parachute to help you land, and then the parachute gets caught on the bridge and you end up bouncing off like 3 trucks. It's like I don't know. It's just again like that grounded in reality. I like that a lot.
And then he got kind of knocked out a couple times in the movie too. That was kind of new.
Yes.
Well, yes, and again, kind of going back to seeing him in different situations and scenarios, like when he gets knocked out and it's like they take him to the police station and everybody's cool. Like waiting to see who's gonna wake
just
up.
take it off.
Yeah.
That was fucking
great. Exactly. Yeah, I like that.
The you mentioned the groundedness, and I think like I'd push it even a little bit further and say that this is even more grounded than Nolan's Batman's. Like Nolan's Batman's kind of dials down all of the shenanigans from the other movies, but it's still quite fantastical and like super futuristic military tech kind of gadgetry.
Yeah, super tech, super tech, totally.
This one's like almost
low
straight.
tech.
It's almost playing it super straight. Like I think the Batsuit still is a little. Like I totally vibe with what you're saying that it's more armory, but I don't think it would have been as cool to have just like him swatted out. Like I think you need a kind of fantastical Batsuit, and so I'm happy with where they ended up here. But outside of the Batsuit, pretty much everything else was really super based in reality, which I dug.
Yeah, no, that is what I was actually driving at.
Yeah,
but so yeah, totally.
Yeah, it looked like he was actually just wearing like kind of tactical pants, like like an armor chest, like combat boots and like tactical kind of pants, but like I don't know. Also with the cape and the leather gimp mask helmet Batman thing, but kudos for not doing a fucking rubber suit again. Jesus.
Oh, right.
I'm tired of the rubber suit.
Just don't need it.
Yeah, well, he did have one feature I did really like was he had like that thigh pouch on his on his right leg.
His cell phone holder.
Yeah,
I get. Sure.
Is that where he keeps his Leatherman?
Is there? What'd you say? His Leatherman?
Yeah. I love it.
That was his initial idea to be a vigilante was Leatherman.
Yeah,
go around fixing things.
And Alfred was like, "Yeah, I don't know if that's going to work, Bruce."
Hey, I can see your light bulb is out. Would you like me to fix it for you?
I was outside on the roof across the street. I saw your light bulb was out.
I was staring into your apartment. Thought you could use some help.
I was just outside, not staring through your window.
Yeah.
What do you reckon about the car?
Well, wait, hold on. Are we done with the costumes, man? I wanted to just let's just wrap up on the costumes and then we'll.
Okay.
You cool? I mean, because I wanted to talk about the cape for a second. Like, I really liked the collar on the cape.
Yeah.
And then I also liked, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what it was. It was kind of like I liked it and I didn't like it.
I do like a good cape collar. I got a collar on my cape.
It was like they solved the him being able to turn his head thing, like with, without making some crazy contraption.
Yeah.
This time
or
around.
making or making it look like awkward, like
Right.
in the end of the second, in the Dark Knight and then Dark Knight Rises, the costume was like getting a little weird looking and overly armory,
Mm-hmm.
which I didn't really dig. It's like I just liked how the collar just added another different and interesting layer to it, and the cape was very like the cape in the Nolan ones was like it had the memory fabric, but I liked how the cape was just kind of like a regular heavy sort of cape. It had no special properties, and there was a couple of instances where it kind of got in the way, and it was cool to see that too, just this very kind of these very regular things, like not that I need to see like, what is Batman doing? He has to use the bathroom, but just that type of
the cape's like, fucking cape fell in the toilet again. God damn it. Fucking wet corner smacking me in the back of my leg. My Leatherman all wet.
I was going to go in a different direction and say like he had the 3 shells in the Batcave, but
love it.
John Spartan, you have been fined. It's funny. You know what I mean, though? Like, it's,
yeah.
Just that kind of like, what is it like when it's, it's like those little things that you wonder, like, like what's it like when he's just like hanging out with Gordon, or what's it like when the cape gets in the way? Like, you get to see some of those things in this movie, and I really like that. It kind of connects you with the character, I think, a little bit more,
No doubt.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose I hadn't really dwelled too much on the costume. I think this is kind of one of those, like, after you watch it a few times kind of things. Because, like, I'm still kind of absorbing the story, like one of you guys said earlier. But, like, I dug the kind of, like, gauntlet, arm, arrowy, whatever the fuck those things were.
Yeah, what was up with that, man? I could not figure out what those things were. I like the taser gloves, but, like, I couldn't figure out what those rods were on, like, the gauntlets.
I feel like they're blades or projectiles or something.
Well, at one point I thought that they were like the grapple gun things, but like I was like, well, no, that's
what I was going to say. I thought it had something to do with the grapple gun because he kept putting that arm out when he was
maybe.
But I felt like didn't both the arms have that kind of those like rods on them?
I thought so.
I don't know. And then I feel like he had like an actual grapple gun, like when he was in the police station and those couple other times. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
But there was nothing visible on his like belt.
No, he like actually legit had some kind of Leatherman holder looking belt things.
No, definitely had 2 Leatherman looking holders on that belt.
He did. Yeah. Jokes aside, he did have some little nubbins hanging off his belt.
I have 1 Leatherman for wiring.
I can't even do it.
This is my day Leatherman, and this is my night Leatherman. Well, this one's primarily for electrical work. And this other one here.
My other one's got one of those like fishing lure things on it that you can like,
The other one excels at untying knots that are wet.
But taking sailing classes. Just picture Batman like sitting on a sailboat. I love that idea.
in the full costume.
No, like standing up like on one of those like like the catamarans like in Tenet, like
yeah, totally.
leaning
No,
back. The cape flapping in the wind.
I totally want it to be like he's got like the Batwing.
Like that catamaran.
Yeah, exactly. The Batamaran? Did you just say the Batamaran?
No, the Bat catamaran.
Dude, oh my god, I love that. I want there to be a Batamaran.
All new vehicles like the Batamaran.
Where it's like Alfred comes out one day, he's like, yo, I got this new thing for you, sir. He takes him out and it's just a fucking sailboat. He's just like, cool. Like chasing after somebody.
The Batamaran.
I buried too many Batamarans.
I buried too many Batmans, so I made a Batamaran.
Oh my god, I love that idea. The Batamaran is so a thing now.
Yeah, the Batamaran is definitely a thing. Very, very nice.
Oh, that's fucking great.
That's some gold right there.
I just keep getting these flashes of Batman like slowly wind driven going through the ocean on a sailboat trying to stop a bad guy on a jet ski or something.
Totally, man. Or like I kind of was thinking about how like, there's different, there are different multi-tools. Like I just got a Leatherman as a gift, and like there are different Leathermans for various different things, like there's ones that are kind of like more centric for like, fixing rifles and guns and things in the field, and then there's other ones for like wiring and shit.
Yeah, man, my dad used to have them.
This is my bad Leatherman that's meant for fiddling with model ships in a bottle.
This is fucking
it's got the really, really long pliers on it so you can get in there. Manipulate the fiddly bits.
I totally picture his little bat nose poking the side of a bottle while he's trying knocks over the mast. He's like, God damn it.
Son of a bitch. Now I have to start over again.
There's a room full of half-finished sailboats and bottles.
Just smashed.
So great.
No, dude, my dad used to have a Leatherman. Because like some of the old school Leathermans, you flip open, you kind of like, it's like a switchblade that doesn't, not a switchblade, a butterfly knife.
Yeah, the Gerbers could do that.
And then my dad had one that you like, you kind of flick your wrist and they slide out of the center like a switchblade. So I'm picturing a couple of those.
Yeah, that's the Gerber one. Yeah, that's cool.
Oh, God.
I love that we've talked about Weatherman twice in 2 weeks.
Well, I think last week's Leatherman conversation was just to set this up because this is fucking glorious.
Yeah, it was.
I love that. The Batamaran. I mean, so is it kind of like Batman loves his Batamaran so much that he makes little model Batamarans in bottles? Is that?
Yes. And he made a catamaran for Catwoman.
Oh, yes. It's just a normal catamaran, like a normal off-the-shelf catamaran, but it has an asshole on the back.
I'm picturing like him presenting the two boats to her,
his and hers,
right? Like no, like he's like.
I'm more thinking that the Batamaran was he got the Catwoman a catamaran, and of course she's Catwoman, so she was finicky and she didn't like it, so he just turned it into the Batamaran.
So he like painted over the asshole and made it a Batamaran.
Yeah.
No, I was kind of going more with like a thing where he's like,
I made you something to get around the city. It's a catamaran.
I can't even fucking keep a straight face.
It's one of those moments where he tries to interject a subtle joke, He's like, I made something for you to get around the city. It's a catamaran.
I made one for myself, too.
What do you call yours?
The Batamaran.
Has to be like a long, awkward pause.
Yeah.
That's really good. I like the idea of the asshole on the back of the cat.
Yeah, I feel like instead of a name on the back of the boat, it's just like a fucking chocolate starfish,
just has like the cartoon asshole where it's like just like a sort of like an asterisk, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's
asterisk.
Funny,
get it?
Get it? Oh my god. Hang on one sec. I'm gonna get up for a sec.
All this talk about assholes makes me want to go get a protein bar.
He's going to get his bag of chocolate covered gummy assholes.
That reminds me, I got some chocolate covered gummy assholes at the candy store.
Oh my god.
Just picturing Rooker.
God, these are delicious.
Oh. Oh, that's fucking great.
Oh my god. Whew.
Batarang. That's up there with Spider-Man Show Me the Money. That's great.
Oh boy, I see some work in GIMP coming up.
Oh man, yeah, I gotta figure out how to make that a thing.
Back.
You are back.
Yo, bro.
What? What did I miss?
I was like, I can't remember exactly how it landed, but it was basically you got up and it was like, all this talk about cat assholes makes me want to go get a protein bar. And then Benny's like, yeah, I gotta go get my chocolate covered gummy assholes. He came back and started chomping on shit. It was just too perfect.
What do you mean? I'm not eating anything.
Oh, your assholes are delicious. Oh, Liz.
These buttholes are delicious. Oh, Liz.
I love it.
Oh wow, holy moly! Speaking of bat vehicles,
Car was pretty sick.
Yes.
yeah, definitely my favorite Batmobile since like the OG Adam West Batmobile.
The Adam West Batmobile, so good.
Yeah,
I definitely really had a soft spot for the Keaton Batmobile too. At the time, it was like super.
Same here.
Super cool.
So cool.
at the time, I just don't think they've aged well.
No, definitely not.
You know,
especially like the Kilmer and Clooney ones. They look so stupid.
yeah,
Dreadful.
yeah. Once they like started those kind of jumped the shark there. Like they just like took the same idea and like took it way over the top.
No doubt. No doubt.
I'm a big fan of the, I know it's not movies, but the in the Arkham games, the Batmobile was pretty cool. It was kind of like a shortened version of the Keaton one, you know? It had that kind of muscly look to it, and the wings were a little more toned down, and it had like a cool area to like carry around, like, you know, people that he captured as well, which was kind of neat.
Yeah, sweet.
Ooh, neato.
Yeah.
I'm injecting to look that up, so I'll take a death for that.
Yeah, go for it. We have no deaths so far, so.
It's funny, now that you mentioned that, I wonder if I bought Hot Wheels Unleashed, and it is an absolute blast, like just for like a jump in and play arcade style racing game, you know?
Sure.
And
no, I'm not really I don't even know what you're talking about. That's a game, like a racing game?
Yeah, Hot Wheels Unleashed. It's like a fairly, you know, I don't know, like this year anyways, it got released racing game, you know, where you race like different Hot Wheel cars on like a crazy track.
Cool.
It's not like very realistic. It's super arcadey, but it's a lot of fun.
Sweet.
I think they did a Batman series, or they did a DC series recently, and I think one of the areas was like the Bat Cave or something. But I hope they're always adding like collectible cars and stuff that you can get by like, you know, just completing like daily objectives and that kind of a thing. I'm hoping they add this Batmobile.
Dude, it's sick.
Wow, that is cool. I just looked this up on Wiki. There's not a lot of info, but definitely digging what you're saying. It's right up my alley.
It's just super fun to like pick up when you don't really want to like, you know, you're just looking to like get some action in for like a few minutes, you know, or like half an hour or something. It's
have a bit of fun.
A blast to pick up.
I didn't pick up on the Christine horror character car kind of vibes here, but evidently other people did. I saw it on the YouTubes.
Oh,
that was cool.
Totally, man. When he fucking fires it up when like Catwoman's down at the docks and like that first time he fires it up, it's like the fucking jet is whining and like, you know, there's like weird flames shooting out of it everywhere and stuff. It's like like whoa, yeah. If he fires that thing up in a dark alley, you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, the rocket engine stuff was cool.
Oh my god, I've got to get this. I have to get this Hot Wheels game, dude.
Focus Trinity. Focus Tiffany.
It's a blast, man. It's so much fun.
It looks like a total gas, dude.
It is.
Oh, dude, shark car. We have that one.
Yeah.
We have a shark car in our household, too. Anything else to say about the Batmobile?
I didn't really throw my 2 cents in on that. I think
that was my subtle attempt to get you on topic.
Thank you, Chad. We appreciate you. We sure do. It kind of had this like total Mad Max vibe. Like,
yeah.
I just thought of that right now. But
Yeah.
like, because I literally just watched Mad Max Fury Road the other night. I have the regular and the black and chrome edition. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that.
I haven't seen the black and chrome. We've talked about it before. I'm interested. I want to check it out for sure.
Yeah, it's like when we do that movie, we should watch the black and chrome. Like just seeing it in black and white, it's so good. And
Yeah, I'm down.
it definitely. You know what it was? It was bugging me the last week. I was like, what does that damn thing remind me of? Mad Max. Straight up. That's it. It's so got a Mad Max vibe going on to it, you know? And it's kind of like low on like tech and gadgets and like, you know.
I like that. Yeah.
There's no like intimidate. Well, yeah, but like there's no like it's rough and tough still, right? And it's totally badass, no question about that. But it's got like there's no like intimidate mode and like, you know, the go down into the front to shoot the rocket, like none of that nonsense. Like
there's no stupid grappling hook that shoots out of the side of it so it can make like a fucking 90-degree corner.
Right?
Exactly. You know. So, you know, I don't know, I just liked how it was just like simple and raw, you know, like that was the cool, like this kind of bleeds us into another territory, but like I kind of dig how the movie's kind of like low tech and high tech at the same time. Like those contacts that they wear that like can record like video is like that was so interesting and cool. But then you have like the house phone at Wayne Manor is still like, you know, an old school handset with like this giant blinking buttons on the bottom, you know, like, I don't know. It was just like, no, really, it was a really interesting mix of aesthetics and styles. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the Batmobile, you know, definitely, you know, falls into that. Like it was just totally Mad Max and totally like simple and like just raw and like badass. I don't know. It's like I can't think of any better way to say it.
Yeah, I'm definitely picking up what you're putting down with the Mad Max vibe there.
Thank you.
I like that it's just it's apparently based on like a 69-ish Dodge Charger.
Yeah.
Like that's what the body is, but it's, you know, it's super modded out. But I just like the idea that it's like an old muscle car that he just like fucking kitted out, you know?
Yeah. It has that like roll cagey vibe in the back end. You know, you're looking at the back of it. There's tons of like pipe, you know, roll cage pipe. And in particular, I loved the, you know, even though it was cheese dicky to go off a giant jump to chase after the Penguin, I loved that the thing actually had suspension. You know, like so often these cars go off huge jumps that would just fucking destroy the car. And this thing actually had like rally car-ish, you know, super low wheels that just kind of bounced the right way when it landed, which I just appreciated that attention to detail.
Right. It's like the General Lee on fucking steroids.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I don't know. It's really just so totally Mad Max, you know, like in Fury Road, like I loved how they did like, you know, they just like take a car and then they like weld another car on the top of that car. And then there's like two engines and like, you know, it's just like nuts, but it all worked.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
I definitely want to see the this Batmobile with this Batman in Cannonball Run.
Definitely.
Dude, I just found an entire site of Hot Wheels Unleashed, the cars. It's so cool.
You set them in motion, Benny.
And I'm maintaining my focus on the show at the same time.
Are you, though?
So, yeah, I really am.
Are you? Yeah.
Totally, man.
Yeah. Totally. No, not a problem at all.
Come on, dude. I just laid out that whole thing about the Batmobile. It was tight.
And then as soon as you finished, other people were talking and there was crickets afterwards.
He just most of him is focused on the Hot Wheels Unleashed, but he broke off a sub Kev Damon to engage with the show.
Sub Kev Damon.
It's like a little virtual Kev that says shit that Kev would say, but it's not really Kev.
I like that. Kind of like I would have said, like from
like a beta
his
unit or a,
yeah.
Oh, I thought you were kind of like throwing out like a His Dark Materials kind of vibe there.
No, it's like a Revelation space kind of thing too.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
Bleep bloop.
All right.
I like Mad Max, Fury Road.
Dude,
Have you seen the black and white version? Bleep bloop.
Dude, they got freaking monster trucks in this thing, dude.
Bleep bloop. Wolverine also had a black and white version. We should do that sometime.
The Damon Kev.
All right, close the tabs, bro. Save them for later.
I can't.
Yes, you can.
Select country? Oh, dude.
Select podcast.
Select podcast.
Come on, close the window. Close it.
Come on, we're getting there.
Close
We're getting
it.
there.
We're good, dude. It's all good.
No, we're not good. Close it.
No. We're good.
No, we're good.
Great vehicles in general in this too. I liked the his bat cycle, but I also liked just the regular. Like he had like a I think it was like a CB 750 or something that was like all cafe racered out. That
Yeah, definitely.
he was riding around like really cool, and Catwoman's motorcycle was fucking sweet too.
Totally.
Definitely, but he did
Beamer.
this is a question. Like he did have two bikes, right? Because like it definitely looked like the bike at the end, like when they're riding off, was like a bat bike of some kind. But
had those little wings on the back, little ears, which I liked.
Yeah.
What?
They had these two little subtle kind of fins on the back tail that kind of looked like little bat ears. That was really cool.
No, I didn't notice that. I did. I just kind of I dug that it was just kind of like a regular bike. It wasn't all that it, weirded out with some bat shit.
Bat shit, I like it.
Bat shit, sorry.
I feel like the Nolan, I like the Nolan bat bike that comes out of the car, but it's so fucking gimmicky.
Yeah, it's kind of silly.
I mean, it was cool in the sense of Bruce Wayne tech and all that kind of thing. I was like, dude, dig it. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I just like how everything's very simple in this movie. I like how he's just riding around on a regular motorcycle through half the movie, and he's got his I think seemingly his suit is in his backpack.
Which is interesting. That was
runs
one
down
little,
an alley and throws it on, and then
a little bit. That
whoa!
He's got a tiny little fucking mini backpack with an entire bat suit in it. Felt like it was friggin'
Yeah,
okay.
come on, man.
Dude, that is such a gripe of Cav, dude, that I just completely glossed over.
Yeah.
Because I was like,
The bat suit would totally not fit in that backpack, man.
Where would he put the boots? But the boots wouldn't fit in the bag. That's what gripey Kev was saying inside me when I was watching it.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, he's probably got the boots on while he's just riding, and then he puts on the rest of the suit. And then I was like, okay, acceptable response.
Very Superman-esque, jumping in a phone booth, getting changed up. Have we really seen that before? That's very Spider-Man-y and Superman-y, the whole, not costume and being like, oh, shit, I need to get changed.
Love it. Totally. I love it.
Was it just me, or, every time anyone was on a motorcycle in the pissing down rain, I was like, be careful.
Watch out, it's slippery.
It's
make
slippery
sure you put
roads
that
out
thing
there,
in rain
guys.
mode.
Be careful, guys. I totally had that every time.
I did
Maybe it's because I'm a scooter
I hope you got
now.
ABS on that thing.
Yeah, exactly. Love it.
I hope everybody's being careful out there riding around.
Put on your back helmet.
I mean,
Protect
fucking
that noggin
getting
of
shot
yours.
at's just getting shot at's not dangerous.
Nah, whatever.
Nah.
But don't worry. Whenever you're wearing the bat suit, people only ever shoot at your chest, not at your face that's sitting wide open.
Yep.
What car are you customizing now, Kev?
I'm not, dude. I'm waiting for you to finish.
I reckon it's cast time, dudes.
All right. Yeah.
Okay. Go.
Yeah, you mentioned in the pregame last week, Kev, the whole Colin Farrell thing. That was pretty legit, bro.
Yeah. Let's start with that. So I said last week I just didn't even realize he was in the movie until the credits, and it said Colin Farrell, and I was like, whoa!
It's pretty legit.
Kind of John
great
Boorman
fucking
moment.
job.
This is, in my opinion, this is his best role.
Yeah.
The accent was solid as.
I'm with you there.
Oh my God. He was just phenomenal, dude. The makeup, everything was so good.
I've never been the hugest Colin Farrell fan, man. And I mean,
I'm not. I'm not.
I dig him in Bruges and stuff, but I just have never really given a shit. But he did a great fucking job here.
I've heard that In Bruges is the best thing that he's done. So many people have said no, that's the movie you got to see. He's really good in that.
Yeah,
and
it's good, but he's very Colin Farrell in it.
Fair enough. But this is not
Colin Farrell, yeah. Totally unrecognizable.
I think he was. This is going to be controversial, but I feel like he was kind of going there in Total Recall, the remake, but the movie itself was just so terrible that it kind of hampered that. Like he really wasn't that terrible in that. It's just like the movie itself was just bad.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of something else that I saw him. I know there's something else that I saw him in.
He was in Minority Report.
I liked him in Minority Report.
Same.
He was good in that.
That whole Alexander movie was dumb.
No, dude. Ugh.
Absolutely. I mean, the Daredevil movie with Batfleck was a turd anyways, but he was awful in that.
Awful. As Bullseye. Like his intro in that movie is like House of Pain, and he's in like some stupid bar. It's like...
Yeah. It's that they pulled him out of like, the worst Guy Ritchie movie ever or something, Like...
You got the guy that did the BT soundtrack for Driven.
Oh God, Drivel. Yeah,
Drivel.
Yeah, that was terrible. But anyway, he was fantastic in this movie. Like I cannot say enough good things about him.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing a sequel. I'm curious to see what they do. I'm sure it'll be interesting, and I'd love to see a bit more Penguin. We'll get to that whole Joker thing later, I'm sure, but.
So we're for sure that there's already a sequel for this?
I'm pretty sure that they just announced that it was greenlit in the last couple of weeks. I saw something at some stage.
Yeah, I mean, they're obviously they are leaning towards it in the movie,
They'll milk it. I mean, the director mentions the whole like extra Joker scene, saying like this is not a setup for Joker being in the next movie. Which I was happy to hear him say that, even if the studio ends up forcing his hand there and he has to do that. Like he was just like, we had the Joker in the extra scene and the Joker in that little jailhouse scene at the end because it's like we wanted to let it be known that Batman didn't save the day and now Gotham's better. Like it's still fucked up. And it was like, yeah, okay, cool, kind of, I get that. I definitely was cynical about it and thought it was like, cool, so Joker next, right on. But I hope
I don't really want to see. You know what? I know we're kind of supposed to be talking about the cast, but I like this kind of. I want to kind of stick on this for a second. Like I would like to see because like in this, like I just had Wiki open and I was reading about sequels and. They're talking about kind of like kind of building on this idea and this world, and I think like this is a good place to build off of, right? Instead of like some of the other stuff that we've seen, and they're talking about kind of a shared kind of Batman-centric universe based with this, and I like the idea of doing more films like this where it's more, cerebral and detective-oriented, and they're talking about like a sequel, and some of the villains they're throwing around like the Court of Owls and Calendar Man and Hush. Like I think that I'd love to see something different and cool like Calendar Man. You know what I mean? Like we've already seen Mr. Freeze. I mean, I know it was Arnie, but it'd be cool to see more of this style. Of like, yeah. I was thinking maybe that would sneak by you, but no chance.
No way, bro. Or as Arnie would say, no way, Jose.
All right, everybody, chill. But also, this caught my eye, too, that I guess there's like a Penguin series on HBO Max that's developing.
With Colin Farrell?
Yeah, Farrell has signed on to reprise his role. Yeah,
that could be cool. I'd do a series, a Penguin, like a Penguin mini series or something.
It's kind of about. I think it's kind of about the Penguin's rise to power in Gotham. I don't know. I mean, there's already like a Pennyworth show, and then there's like a what is it called? Gotham. I've heard is very good, but I've never seen a single episode of it. Am I thinking of the right thing? Gotham?
No
is
idea,
that the
bro.
Show?
I don't know.
Really? The TV series about a young Gordon? No.
Nope.
Wow.
Well, I'm aware that it exists in the premise, but I don't know which one I can't tell you which one you're talking about for yourself. That's really more than
the one that has been playing for the last couple of years. Is that what it's called? Gotham?
I think it's been on for a couple of years. I don't know.
Yeah, I've never heard of it, dude. Sorry.
I don't know.
Anyway.
Batman's Batman.
Yeah, so anyway, I like that idea, that Penguin series. That looks pretty interesting to me.
Yeah.
So what, having like a bit of an extended Batman universe kind of thing?
Yeah, and I think centering it around this Batman is a really good idea, man, because it's like really cool and gritty and different, you know? I don't know.
Yeah. It seems like with all of these superhero movies being trilogies that, like, I don't know, it's almost like the trilogy format loses steam by definition. And maybe it's the series thing getting sprinkled in will help this stuff. Because, like, I was super into the Nolan Batmans, don't get me wrong, like, by the end of it, you're just kind of like, all right, like, this is cool, but, like, fucking, it's been like 10 years. You know, I'm sure Bale was sick of it at that stage. I don't know. Maybe it just gets so stretched out that you just, even as the actor, you're just sick of the fucking stuff.
I don't know, man. That's a really interesting topic, dude. I think it would be cool to do something that was like, you know, if you had the writing tight, you know, like you could do something where you go from like the story could kind of go, or elements of the story could go from like this movie to like a Penguin series, and then you could kind of blend it
to a movie to conclude everything.
Exactly, bounce it back and forth between these different things. You know, like that would be different to do, because it's like the formula that we're using now. It's kind of like you just said. It's just so beat. It's like trilogy after trilogy, and it's just like.
Yeah, and then even if you end up with a good trilogy, or like the Tom Holland Spider-Man trilogy, despite the fact that it's super vanilla, saccharine Marvel, ended on a high note, and like I kind of would like to see another Tom Holland Spider-Man movie. Whereas I don't feel as though most trilogies, I'm like, I want to see another one. You know, like I don't know. I'm probably bullshitting myself here saying that I didn't want to see another Nolan Batman with Bale, but like I kind of just wanted to see another Nolan movie that wasn't Batman and another Bale movie that wasn't Batman, you know? I kind of wanted them to just do other shit. So, I don't know. I definitely think the movie to kind of a series of shows that comes back to a movie would make more sense, or I'd love to see someone try it.
Yeah.
And that's almost what they're doing in the This Is a Death Star Wars stuff with Mando and stuff. Like, those movies fucking failed so badly in terms of just everyone being grumpy that they've retreated to shows. So they're kind of being forced into that corner.
Well, whatever. It was their best move, dude, because all those movies were so damn bad, dude.
Yeah. Anyways, the cast.
Death You Shall Have. Man, did you know there was a Swamp Thing series?
No.
No, seriously, in 2019. I'm just reading like a bunch of like DC television shows, like what there is. Anyway, whatever.
If I could get you on Skype without having the rest of the internet, I would. You can set up like a child, parental controls on your computer.
Come on.
Zoe Kravitz was pretty
Talk about
solid.
the movie.
Not really familiar with other shit she's done, but man, she looks like her mom.
What? You really think so?
Yeah, man, she looks just like Lisa Bonet. What'd you think of her as Catwoman?
I thought she was great. I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, she was good. I wasn't like, oh my God, nothing like that.
No, but she did well. She's better than Anne Hathaway.
Yeah, definitely, dude.
I got nothing against Anne Hathaway, but she was better than Anne Hathaway.
She wasn't better than Michelle Pfeiffer, though.
No, fuck no. That was a whole different thing, though. It's a whole other universe. The Tim Burton stuff was just so fucking iconic and so crazy.
And just so, like, fantastical.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In that kind of Willy Wonka way.
Totally.
That was what was so great about it.
Yeah, you're not going to touch that for me.
Christopher Walken in the sequel. That was terrible.
Valiant.
That was all right. That was serviceable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was all right.
Better than
Not
mine's
my
been
best.
lately.
I don't know. They come and go.
Really, we talked about it a second ago, but I really dug the little pointy hat thing that she had. I wasn't super keen on the open face bottom stuff. I didn't really care for that as much, but the two little ear things was just perfect. Subtle.
Yeah, but I like the open bottom. Like like it kind of grew on me at first. I was like, "That's so dumb," but then I was like, "Well, this is cool because it's just like it's something she made." You know what I mean? She's not like Bruce Wayne, where she's got like a billion, zillions, jillion dollars. You know what I mean? So like, you know, she just grabbed a pair of scissors and was like, "Snip, snip."
I totally won't be recognized in this thing that shows all of my face except for my nose. my most predominant
Touche,
feature is my nose.
Chad. Touche. All right. So anyway, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I liked it. It grew on me, and I liked the kind of subtle cat ears on it. You know, it was cool. Yeah. And to answer your question, like, yeah, she was good. I don't know. The more I watch it, the more I kind of dig it. I like the whole like. I liked that they developed her character. It wasn't just like, oh, she fell off the ledge and like a bunch of cats licked her face. And then all of a sudden she's got 9 lives and she's crazier than a shithouse rat. Like it was like the whole tie-in with Falcone. Like I loved that, man.
Yeah.
You know, and how, you know, she was doing like her own thing. And it wasn't just like, she's like the coolest cat burglar there is, you know?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Halle Berry was like the worst Catwoman.
Yep.
And so I really dug them like taking the time to develop the character, man. It was cool, you know. And she had like her own thing, you know. And it was cool, kind of seeing Batman rein her in. You know what I mean? And being like, you know, whoa, dude. Hold on, let's go get a basket of fries and talk about this for a second, you know. Instead of like, you know, and she's just like, let him go, kill him, you know, like she was angry, dude, you know? So like there was some cool elements there that I really liked, you know, just like there was some flesh there, man. Like they really put some meat into her, which was great, instead of just making her like, you know, another babe in a slinky tight outfit, you know, it's like, come on. Anybody?
Yeah, the Falcone, that Falcone dad thing was cool.
Yeah. Really
Sorry,
cool,
Benny, what do you have?
Agreed, pretty much everything. I think she was written well, and I thought Zoe Kravitz was great. She had great, you know, physicality. Like she did all the, you know, like the fighting and shit was really good, and you know, I thought she was excellent.
Yeah, she and Pattinson definitely had chemistry in the same kind of space that, like, because Pfeiffer and Keaton had chemistry, and then I would argue that pretty much none of the other Catwoman Batman interactions were overly, I don't know, just fell flat. I liked that Pattinson seemed kind of smitten with her, and I don't know, kind of she was a tough cookie.
Yeah, I also like that it didn't really go anywhere, you know.
Yeah.
You mean with them making out? Yeah.
Yeah. Although, you know, there's the missed opportunity of them riding off in their Batamaran, Catamaran things into the sunset, so
I didn't have a problem with them riding away at the end on the bikes. I was like, this is cool. And I liked how he just like split off and then they just focused on him, like, and his face as he's riding away, you know, like, I don't know, man. He looked really good in the cowl. Like his face, his lower jaw, like the way he portrayed him, you know, like he's kind of stuck with the same problem as Carl Urban and what's his face, our Hugo Weaving, you know, like we talked about we talked about Dredd and like working with a mask, and like he did a really good job with that damn mask, dude, you know? And
yeah.
I really like a lot of the scenes, like when it's dark, like you can't see his eyes, but you can still see his face because it's white. You know what I mean? Like the skin on the lower half of his face. And then the upper half, it's like, it's just this black mass. Very menacing looking. Very interesting.
I do feel like the mask, the eyes in particular on the mask were handled differently. It seemed like they kind of went with a much more skull-like, skeletal kind of thing. Thinking back to like the other Batman costumes, the rubber ones, they're really flat, and I think the kind of like deep sockets here and the slightly wider eye holes, like when it was lit, you could see his eyes a lot better, which I liked. I thought it was a really interesting look.
Yeah, very much so, man. Very much so.
But he has an interesting facial structure. Like he's from the side, he has a very flat face. And it was a really interesting look in the Batman cowl, for sure.
Yeah, I think I'd read something from someone saying that Robert Pattinson had the right jaw for Batman, and I was like, I don't know what that means, but once I saw it, I was like, Yeah. All right, I get it.
Yeah, I got it
And
too.
the cowl or whatever it looked like it had at least like a piece that came up under his chin, and then like a little triangular piece that came out underneath his jaw, but it didn't come up over the edge of his jaw, like some of the other Batman suits, if I remember correctly.
Right.
It's a very interesting design.
Yes. I also like that too. How it came like up underneath his chin. It was cool. It was like it defined his face in an interesting way. It framed his face in an interesting way. I thought that was cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and we touched on the Riddler before, but like I'm glad they got to a point where they uncovered Paul Dano's face, because you really couldn't tell what was what for the longest time there. But Paul Dano was fucking really good, man. I really like what he brought to that. Really kind of like incel vibe, fucked up weirdo kind of internet fucking 4chan user kind of thing. It was cool. It fit with the modern kind of crazy fucks that we have.
Yep.
The original 4chan user, the Riddler.
That's it. I
Oh
mean,
my
it
God,
just
that was funny,
it's
dude.
so it was well crafted, because that is like the origin story of a lot of these. Like, we don't need to go down this avenue, but just to touch on it briefly, like all these fucking dumbass mass shooter fuckheads are going and talking to other fuckheads on the internet and convincing each other that it's a good idea, And I thought it was an interesting piece here, where the climax of the thing is him getting busted, and then his minions on 4chan going and shooting up a stadium. Like, it was in keeping with kind of the society crumbling around us outside of the movie universe. It was interesting. I mean, the Riddler is such a goofy fuck most of the time. It was interesting that he was kind of like a Zodiac killer incel dude.
I feel like I agreed, absolutely. And I think the DC, I think, has a hard time taking its kind of wacky, zany villains and actually making them into something that's like scary, menacing, and
Definitely, man.
and believable. And they definitely did it here with the Riddler, and Paul Dano was excellent. He like really, I mean, he almost overplayed it. I think, like, almost, like he went right up to the fucking line.
I agree.
Where I was like, this might be a little bit much, but at the same time, like the way he would end off things or bring it home, it made it, it made it work really well. So kudos.
Yeah.
What else has he been in? Why am I drawing a blank? With him?
Looper, dude.
Yeah,
Paul
Looper.
Dano was in Looper.
He was the sidekick in Looper, and There Will Be Blood.
Yes, there you go.
But I think in Little Miss Sunshine as well. I think you'd know him best as Bruno / Joseph Gordon-Levitt's like kind of dorky, can do a little bit of magic, broken motorcycle dill hole in Looper, who ends up getting his fingers cut off. He's the character that gets his finds out he's gonna die and then freaks out and runs away in the kind of setting that whole thing up.
Fuck, it's been a long time since I've seen that movie.
You're like, nope, no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, not really. Yeah.
A lot of people seem to think he did go over the line. I'm with you guys. I don't think he did. I thought he did a good job of kind of playing it crazy enough. I think in particular the scene where he and Batman are kind of on other sides of the glass in the jail or whatever, and I loved the tension. They did an excellent job of the tension of the Riddler saying like Bruce Wayne, and you like can see that Pattinson's like, fuck, like he's gonna give away my secret, and then like after a few minutes it becomes clear that the Riddler doesn't know that he's Bruce Wayne and thinks that they're like teammates. That was super well done. I really dug that scene a lot, because it's super tense and you think he's gonna be unmasked, but then he doesn't. He's like, no, we're partners here, and Batman's like, fuck you, you're crazy, and then he kind of freaks out again. So it was a really interesting back and forth.
Yeah. What did you think, Kev?
Wait a second. I'm trying to like wait. I kind of got confused.
Yeah.
Wait, you talking about when he's with him at Arkham?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I think like I do kind of have a gripe in that scene where Batman gets mad and starts screaming that he's a fucking idiot and like punching the glass, and I think that's not how Pattinson had played Batman up until that point. But before that, when the Riddler thinks that he and Batman are like teammates, I particularly liked. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know why I'm not remembering that, but I don't know. I just started thinking about like how, like I really liked how they laid out like his kind of masterminding all of this stuff and the riddles themselves. You know, like it was all really well crafted. You know what I mean? And like,
no, it was very like. It was very Seven. It was very Kevin Spacey kind of laying the pieces out for Freeman and Pitt, you know?
Yeah.
And then you bring in the Zodiac Killer's kind of cipher stuff.
Yeah, that's kind of what I meant, yeah.
And it kind of, it gets that ball rolling. And then I think where they take that in that scene that I'm talking about is like the Riddler being like, I laid all this stuff out for you, and I'm just a thinking guy. You're the muscle, and you went and did all the things. And Batman's like, I didn't do anything. And he's like, yes, you did, bro. You set it all up. You brought the guy out to the light. We're working together. We're stopping this together. We're gonna fuck all these guys up. We're gonna fuck up Bruce Wayne. And then Batman's like, fuck you. You know, like that was it was some interesting twists and turns there. Where should we go next?
Well, we were talking about the cast, and we kind of got, you know,
and Jeffrey Wright.
Dude, fucking Jeff Wright, man.
Yeah, man.
Definitely Jeffrey Wright. Love this dude since I first saw Casino Royale. I think that was my first exposure to him. Like, really, I was like, wow, okay, this guy, like, really good Felix Leiter. He's got a really great voice.
Yep.
And a really great timbre to his voice. And he, like, I don't know, he just uses it well. And he's like a super versatile actor, man. I like him a lot. And I thought he was really, like, as soon as I saw the trailer and I was like, he's going to be Gordon, I was like, oh, yeah, totally. You know, like, I was, like, totally on board with that. You know, like, as much as I could get on board with, like, Irons as Alfred and J.K. Simmons as Commissioner Gordon. You know what I mean? Like, I was just like, wow, yeah, perfect. You know, so it was really cool to see also the way they work together all the time in the movie, you know, and like that one scene where he's just like, well, you're the only one I trust. Or you're the only one I trust. You know what I mean? Like, it was really, really cool dynamic between him and Batman, and I liked how they laid that out in this movie.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, he's great.
I think it's after they find the thumb drive.
Hey.
There's a little moment. He's like kind of like muttering to himself while he's like using the computer, and then he accidentally like it uploads everything, and he's like, oh shit! Like there's like a little tiny, like I was just getting a little tiny vibe of fucking Murtaugh in there, just a little bit of Murtaugh.
Yeah,
you know?
that's
like
great.
I kind of like he was sort of playing it like that, like you know, like he might at some points be like, get too old for this shit, you know?
Yeah, dude, that's fucking great.
Just get a little vibe of that.
That's great.
I don't know if you could go full Murtaugh, bro.
Never go full Murtaugh.
Never go full Murtaugh.
Now, I know I bring it up often on the show for no reason because no one's ever seen the movie, but he played Basquiat in Basquiat, which is a movie that like Claire Forlani last week and Mallrats was in, and like I've talked about it a few different times, but that was my first introduction to him. It's like late 90s. He's probably like a 20-something. It's really actually worth checking out. It's a good movie. But
okay,
same. You know, the Bond stuff. Like he's great in the Bond stuff, but it's such a bit part that it was nice to see him get a meatier part here. Like he obviously has a really decent, solid part in Westworld with being Bernard, but
dude, Bernard, yeah, he's great. Westworld.
Oh, that's what I was trying to think of. Duh, Westworld,
yeah.
That's
like he's such a talented actor. He just deserves bigger roles, and it's nice to see him getting some bigger roles now. Because
definitely,
while he's great as Felix in the Bond movies, it's just they're such small parts.
True.
He's one of my favorite working actors, and that's a testament to his chops because he really hasn't done a whole lot of big
well, I don't, dude. He was in Boardwalk Empire. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, but I'm talking movies. Like he's got a bunch of show, parts in shows like Boardwalk and Westworld and stuff. But like hasn't had a ton of meaty roles in movies recently, and it's just nice to see him getting one like this.
All right. Sure. I don't know. He seems like, sometimes to me, he seems like the dude's everywhere.
He does a lot of voice work, too. So you pick him up in, like, the What If stuff on Marvel, for example.
And he also does, yeah, he also looks very different without his stash.
I don't know if I've ever seen him without his stash.
Well, without his beard or stash. He usually has a beard or a stash.
The slight cul-de-sac, the director of this movie has an epic stash, by the way.
What?
Yes, he does.
Really?
I was very impressed.
Oh, let's have a look. Oh, yeah, he does have a nice stash.
Yeah.
And he's got like a little he kind of looks like a gunfighter, man.
He would totally, sling some guns, totally.
Slings and guns? What the hell is that?
Sling some guns, gunslinger.
Gunslinging?
Oh. I thought Slings and Guns was like a show or something.
Yeah, it's like
I was
Shoots and
what's
Ladders. But for
that? Some
mustaches.
sort of mustachioed gunfighter show I've not known about.
It's a board game, you know. It's like it's like Perfection. There's like a timer, and like you have all these little pieces, and if you don't get it, they pop out, and you have to start over again.
Yeah, Umba's gonna review that on his next episode of Tales from the Table.
Exactly. Do you know if we made a mustache board game, Umba would totally play it.
So can we make a mustache board game?
Yes, we can.
Dude, think about that for a second. A mustache board game, that would be sweet.
It would be
you could
sweet.
incorporate all kinds of different stashes that you could wear on your face while you're playing the game.
Definitely.
Be fun, man.
Ooh.
Yeah, I fucking see those gears turning in your head, bro, and I can't even see you.
That's it.
What if you already have a mustache, though? What does that mean?
Extra cool points or something? I don't know.
So is that like you have to have a mustache in order to play the board game?
No. I mean, that would exclude children and women from playing for the most part.
Pretty much forever.
Well, glue a fake one on.
Well, no, that's the thing. Kevin was just suggesting that you have all these cool fake mustaches that are part of the game. It's just, what if you already have one? So I don't know.
I think if you already have one, there should be like a slightly modified rule set so that like you actually risk your mustache by playing the game.
Yeah, there you go.
Whoa, no way, man.
Yeah. Hold on, folks. We're getting some major pushback from Betty over here.
No, I'm not playing that game.
I'm not playing any such game.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think that'd be pretty good. Just your reaction to it makes me think it's an even better idea.
There you go.
It sounds like some sneaky ploy by mustache hating girlfriends to get their
yeah, that's it.
Their loved ones to shave.
Yeah.
Maybe if you lose this game, there's only one copy of this game. It's a limited edition game, and Nick, Marv, and his dog travel with it. And so if you lose, the dog gets to eat your mustache.
There you go. There you go. That's something right there, man.
Oh, yeah, the dog ate my mustache.
What happened to your mustache? What happened to your mustache, Nick? I just got this new puppy,
He ate my mustache.
You call the game "The Dog Ate My Mustache." Boom.
There it is. Done. Well, that is steak and mustaches for this episode, where the only person with a mustache is the director, right? I like that. I like the lengths with which we will traverse to discuss mustaches.
I do too, man.
Indeed.
Let's we got Jeffrey Wright.
Turturro, man. Turturro was a delight when I saw him come on. I was like, yeah, Turturro.
I know, and he's just so good in every scene, man. Slowly gnawing on the scenery, bro.
Yeah, man.
So excellent. I love.
Nice to see him in another noir. Miller's Crossing is one of my favorites. And
Yes.
I love him in this.
I just like how he's, again, like he's the crime boss, but like there's dynamics between him and Bruce Wayne and him and Selina, and like, there's things that happen and, energy exchanged, and like there's some really great scenes, just really like that a lot, man.
No doubt.
Just very, very in line and fitting with the rest of this movie,
Yeah.
Just even that scene at the end with Selina where he's like, he's choking her and he's just like, you made me do this. It's just so dark.
Ugh, totally.
Yeah, he was excellent. And I was very happy to see him and kind of surprised, like I didn't.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
it was like delightful.
Just in general, like this movie made some interesting casting choices and pulling in some people that like either you haven't seen a lot of or you haven't seen in a movie like this, or, even like Colin Farrell, where like you can't even really tell that it's him. Like there's just it was refreshing in a way, like some of the casting that happened in this movie, and John Turturro was sort of like the icing on the top of that cake. I think.
Definitely. Well said, Benny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. I definitely got that same vibe with Skarsgård, Peter Skarsgård.
Yeah, definitely.
Don't really see him often, and he was excellent as like the drugged out DA here. Like he was such a sappy fuck. I just loved how lost puppy he was, and going around dropping shit in his eyes, eating mustaches.
I must have missed all that, but I love it.
Yeah. No, he was just so desperate in the club. I just like, oh, hey.
No, you nailed it, dude. Lost puppy. Totally.
He was, dude. Like, so just like, oh, hey, haven't seen you around here. It's like, all right, fucking creepy Spice. Like, fucking shut the fuck up,
Is he a Spice Girl? No.
He is now. He is
creepy
now.
Spice.
He is, yeah. He's the lost Spice Girl. You could just see how sweaty his hands were, He's like, oh, nice to meet you.
He was definitely clammy and wet in this movie.
Yeah. Would you like to come home with me? No, bro. No, I wouldn't.
No, bro.
Nope. No, thank you. Go and get murdered in your car.
Oh, man.
I love him, though. He's just such a rare addition to films. He played it well, man.
If you want to be my lover, you got to get with my friends, put some drops in your eyes and sit at this table.
The nightmare never ends.
Wow. I is so not where I thought we were going here. Good times, Chad. Well done.
Hey, man, How about Andy Serkis not being digital? That was cool.
Yeah.
I'm always happy to see Andy Serkis actually, his face in a movie.
Get a role.
So it's good.
It's so good.
Big fan. I loved him in The Prestige, man. He was great in that.
Yeah.
And, he was really great in this, too. What he was really great in was that Black Panther and the other. And,
yeah.
He was in a couple of the Marvel movies, man. He's really good.
He's a South African. He plays a South African, doesn't he?
Correct.
Yeah. It's a great job.
He's all like diplomatic immunity. Right? Was that one?
Yeah.
Sure.
Ulysses Claw.
Yeah.
Clue, Claw.
Claw.
I love him. I love Andy Serkis.
I
He's
do
another
too.
Jeffrey Wright. Like he's done a ton of shit.
Super
But
talented.
just doesn't get big banging fucking roles.
Well,
and he should.
Agreed.
He's had plenty of huge roles as the digital guy, like Planet of the Apes shit,
Yes.
King Kong, Gollum. He's done plenty of big roles, just not with his face.
It's
annoying.
true.
He's a good actor.
No. I like seeing him. I agree.
Yeah, I mean, he's excellent with the mocap stuff, but good choice for Alfred, too. Like, never would have popped into my head in a million years, but once you see him there, you're like, yep, I see.
Oh, dude, I shouted out when I saw him. I was like, yes, fuck yeah, Andy Serkis, what's up, man? Like I really enjoyed that. I had that same reaction with Turturro when I saw them. I was just like, fucking yes, good choice.
Did you go to see this in the theater, Chad?
Nope.
Oh.
I was in my living room and I shouted out.
Nice.
What's going on?
All right, who's next?
25 years and my life is still
trying to get up the right hill. Hi. Barry Keoghan, Heego guy. He was great, even though you didn't know who he was, and I don't know how I feel about the Joker. This would be a good time to talk about the Joker. He's great in Dunkirk, man.
How about we just not talk about the Joker, dude?
Just for a minute.
He's barely in the movie. I mean,
He's not in it at all, man.
No, he's in it
But
at
there's
the
that
end.
cut scene that I think is worth mentioning.
Yeah, it's a deleted scene.
No, he's actually in the movie at the end talking to the Riddler. They don't show him. He's like the guy in the next cell.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
So what did you think about the Joker shit, Penny? This Kev doesn't want to talk about it.
Let's put it this way. I'm like glad the Joker wasn't the bad guy in this movie. Like I'm kind of fucking jokered out.
I'm definitely jokered out.
Me too.
I kind of secretly want it to be the Joaquin Phoenix Joker too, but I know that that's not possible.
No.
It would be cool as fuck.
It would be. It would be interesting, for sure. It would kind of fit the vibe.
It would.
Yeah.
Not to take anything away from Barry, Kehoe, Keoghan, Keegogo.
Kogan.
Kogan. But the deleted scene that's on YouTube was interesting. It was interesting. Like, I'm glad it wasn't in the movie, but it was interesting to kind of see a new take on Joker that isn't Jared fucking Leto. And, yeah, curious to see what they do with it.
Why are you so... What's wrong with Jared Leto, dude? Like, it wasn't like he did 20 movies. He did one.
I know, but like I don't particularly care about Jared Leto like either way, but like his Joker was just... It was a great example of taking that like cheese dicky 90s comic book bullshit and dialing it up to 11 and like putting a neck tat on it. You know, I just didn't really like it. Anyway.
The truth comes out. It's the neck tattoo that he objects to.
The neck tat, you know. I don't know, man. Like, I love Harley Quinn. What's her name is Harley Quinn is amazing, but like I don't know. I wasn't digging on the Leto Joker.
Yeah.
And this one seems like an interesting kind of super twisted, I don't know.
But wait, I thought you were totally on board for the weird ending of the was it the Justice League movie that had the ending where it went to in the future?
Zack Snyder and Snyder Cut.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I think like this Joker would have been cool in that sequence, for example. Leto is just weird.
I don't know how I feel about lots of prosthetic facial stuff.
Lots of Jokers
going on there, but
yeah, I don't either. I'm with Benny. I'm just glad there was no Joker in this movie.
Yeah, I buy the I'm Jokered out shit. That's totally fair. And I think that puts me on your motorcycle, Kev, of some of the more obscure villains. I think that would be a good move.
You know,
yeah,
like I don't really
calendar guys all about.
I don't know. I don't really know a lot of. I mean, honestly, I didn't read a ton of Batman comics, and I don't know a lot of the lore. But like, I do know a little bit. And like, it'd be just cool to see some interesting, different villains, like Clayface or Calendar Man, or so. You know what I mean? Just like something different. You know, like it was good to see the Riddler, especially done like this.
Seriously, as opposed to cheesy. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's the same with what's his name, the Two-Face in the Nolan movies. Like that was done seriously and well. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was done really well.
Two-Face.
Me too. And Aaron Eckhart was great.
Aaron Eckhart, yeah, he's awesome. I think that covers most of the cast here. I reckon. I don't really know if we need to get into the super bitty bits.
In regards to bits and bobs, I've kind of already managed to throw shit in that would have been what I would have picked. So I don't know if anybody else feels the same way.
Yeah. I don't know if there are any other bits. We covered a lot of the bits. Like the wingsuit, I think, would have been one of my highlight bits.
Yeah.
The opening Batman intro fight with the clowns on the subway thing was bit. The rain is a bit. How rainy it was. Very Seven. That's a
Gotham.
Bit.
Just Gotham in general.
Gotham was pretty fucking cool, man.
Probably my favorite rendition that I've seen.
Yeah, me too.
It's a really interesting take on Gotham. You just don't see that much of Gotham. I love that you could see some kind of cityscape skyline stuff. Yeah, good call.
They did all this shit with the same technology they do Mando.
Oh, the volume shit? Yeah, right.
That they did the volume on this. So,
because this is a full-on COVID movie too, so that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, I enjoyed the city as well. Definitely a character in this.
Definitely.
We touched on it very briefly. I'm curious that it can be just a sentence, but like, what did you guys think about how it was almost Tim Burton-esque with the Batman Manor, Wayne skyscraper, gothic skyscraper shit?
It couldn't have been
weird,
more.
I liked it.
Here's my one sentence. It couldn't have been more goth for real.
Yeah,
like so goth.
I dug it, but it was weird.
Very weird.
Yeah, I had a hard time envisioning like a family raising a kid there. It just seemed
yeah.
Like,
It's not the Addams Family, like fucking
right. Yeah, it was a little
Cousin It comes out.
Yeah.
I liked it. It was super stylized, but I don't know. For some reason, I'm into the gothic architecture stuff because I'm totally an emo. But
yeah,
I currently have my my mascaras running as we speak.
Yeah, why don't you fucking go watch the Umbrella Academy already, will you?
Fuck that goddamn show.
Listen to some My Chemical Romance.
Oh my god, those videos. That's probably bits and bobsy for me. Nuggets? You guys got any other bits and bobs / moving into nuggets?
None and no nuggets.
I've got maybe I've got one final bit and bob,
I've
which
got
is
17.
17 nuggets. No, I don't. The one thing I want to shout out is the exterior shot of Riddler in the diner was totally a takeoff of one of my favorite art pieces, which is Nighthawks. That
Nighthawks,
green
yeah.
diner.
Yeah.
That's a fucking awesome painting and totally pulled from that.
Nighthawks?
Yeah, Google it. Nighthawks, Edward Hopper, and you'll see it.
It's like seeing a diner from the outside, kind of in the dark. Like,
yeah,
you've seen it before.
You'll know it.
It's famous. You've seen it before. It's famous.
I love how I'm like waiting for you to Google it, but this is the one time in show history where you're not going to.
No, I did.
Don't fucking care, man. Anyways, Hot Wheels.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've seen that a million times.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I have one nugget. Colin Farrell evidently pitched the idea of chomping on cigars, but the studio cockblocked it, citing that kids would potentially be watching the movie. And I just want to shout out to the studio being a bunch of fucking nerds. It's like, shut the fuck up. I just think it's so stupid that a studio would cockblock a cigar because it's like, oh no, that would just say all of the wrong things. It's like, dude, Batman just punched that dude in the face 17 times. Like, calm the fuck down.
Yeah, there's a lot worse going on in this movie. Yeah. I don't know, whatever. It'd be one thing if like Batman was like going around with a cigar hanging out of his face all the time because
a Marlboro being like, cigarettes are cool, kids.
All the kids want to be Batman, but who wants to be the Penguin? You know, like I don't know.
Nobody. Yeah. Nobody. I just love how nerfed out the world is these days. That's my nugget. There's a billion fucking million nuggets on IMDb. Read them; they're interesting, but not worth anyone's time.
Yes.
Deaths. Kev's knees are dead.
Unless, my body's dead from sitting on the floor. I only got 3. Chad ejected on Arkham Batmobile. I did a major eject on the Hot Wheels Unleashed, and then Chad had a Mando Star Wars death. That was it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you had a couple other ejections, but yeah.
Okay. And then, that's it.
Word.
Ratings.
I forgot to put a number on this. Let me have a look. You guys rate it.
Go ahead, Ben.
All right, sure, I'll go. I'm going to go with an 8.5.
Nice.
I enjoyed the hell out of this. It was refreshing, and I'll have to come back to it in like a year and see if like I was right or if I was just so shocked that I enjoyed it so much as opposed to hating it like I assumed I would. That it's like an overreaction or something, but I don't think so. I think it holds up. I think it's good.
Nice.
Jar Heego gives a Batman movie a high rating.
Head in a jar Heego.
Head in a jar Heego, man.
Jar in a head Heego.
All right,
talk about surprises.
Talk about your surprises. It's a world-ending surprise on this week's show, folks.
That's it. We're done. We're done.
That's it. Show's over. All right.
Party's over.
What do I think? I love this movie. There was really nothing I did not like about it. It's excellent all the way around. Story is great. Great vision of Batman. Just so cool and different, dude. And I just knew Pattinson would just rock it. And he did. I'll give it a 9.357.
I love how you're going.
Ooh, the 357 Magnum.
That's right.
There you go.
I like it. Very good.
Got to switch up my ratings. This is the new me.
Yeah.
So if they come out with a special black and white version, will you juice it up to a 10?
Nah, I think it'll be a 9/420 at that stage, wouldn't it?
Oh God.
Do you guys super quick exercise because Kev's got lots of time? How would you put this up against like a Thor 1 or Thor Ragnarok or like Spider-Verse in the comic book sense?
In the comic book sense?
Like comparing comic book movies.
This is way better. I don't know.
You think so?
Like, Dude, it's just dripping with like style and substance and so many things that those other movies don't have. You're like, those other movies are great, but they're just so kind of vanilla, man, you know? Like think about this movie, like the textures, the style, like it's just oozing with character, man, you know?
That's fair.
Well, that's just like your opinion, man.
Your opinion, man.
All right.
No,
I think it depends
I believe you.
I think it depends. I think they're very, very different. You know, it's a very different.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that they're, you know, comic book movies or they're based on comic books, it's a very different take. It's a whole different idea. You know, that doesn't mean one's better than the other. It's just what your preference is.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's interesting. I kind of tend to agree, Kev. I think I felt that it was not as good as some of those kind of now considered best of the MCU, but I think you have a good point. Because I definitely am a huge fan of things like Seven, for example, like moody, you know, kind of crazy, super creative pieces of cinema. And I watched a little YouTube video here where they did some crazy shit with the film. It was like they shot it digitally and then put it on a negative and then put the negative through something called an interpositive and like left the silver on the fucking negative and all this crazy shit to give it a gritty, dirty look. And it was just like, all right, I have no idea what you guys are talking about, but clearly you were quite creative here. So kudos to that. And this was the same DP as Dune. The guy just did Dune with Villeneuve. So he's clearly a talented cinematographer.
Indeed.
I think it's funny that they, you know, refer to digital photographers as DPs, and you know they're like, this dude DP'd this movie. Like,
yeah, I hadn't thought.
I heard that today, and I was like, dude, seriously, you can't say it that way. Like,
can't say that anymore.
Agree.
That's funny.
That is true.
In the rating space, I don't know. I feel like this is a low 5. Like, it's a good movie. I'm hesitant in the same way that you are, Benny, but in the opposite direction. Like, I've ranked some of the more recent movies like really high on the algorithm, and then when I rewatch them, I'm just like, yeah, no, this is way too high. So I'm kind of for some reason biasing low here, and I want to give it a 5.2, but some of these MCU movies are in the higher 5, so I'll give it a 5.7.
Wow, that seems so low, dude.
Yeah, I still feel like it's. I still feel like it's solid. Like when I watched it, there were easily 4 or 5 times where I was like, not really digging that. Not like in the sense that it's like this sucks, but just in the sense that it didn't quite hit where it needed to hit. And I think this is gonna be like my view will change as I watch it more. And it's like a 5 is a good movie, you know. Like this is. It's 5.7. RoboCop's 5.7. True Lies is 5.7. Casino is 5.7. So, like,
all right,
the number may seem weird, but I don't know. That's where it ends up for me.
Yeah, no, I mean, that seemed appropriate to the algorithm, to me, anyways. I think with a lot of the newer movies, I'm so oversaturated at this point. Like movies are, unless it's like something that has nostalgic value or something that I've loved for a long time, they're kind of like a la carte, you know, like they're just sort of, they're there in the moment and, you know, they may delight me on one watching and then bore me on the next, you know, like it's just.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
But it's true, you know, it's like, it's hard to know really where you stand with a movie because I feel the same way. I've watched stuff later and been like, you know, just not feeling it.
Yeah.
Yes. I
do, like, I know this is me just being a smarmy little fuck, but, like, I definitely think that you guys talking about it last week definitely colored it a little bit. Like, the fact that you guys were both like, yeah, it was good, meant that I was going in and being like, okay, cool, so this is going to be good. And then it was like, if I go into the movie thinking it's going to be good, then I want it to be great. If I go into the movie thinking it's going to be maybe, then and it's good, I'm like, oh wow, cool. So that sounded like what you said, Benny, early, where you were like, I was expecting it to be some dumbass Batman movie, and it wasn't. And I think because I was expecting it to be good, I wanted it to be great, and it was close. It was you know, it was pretty solid, but I think I think it'll grow on me as I watch it more, and it's certainly one of the stronger entries into the Batman pantheon. No doubt about it.
Word
'em up.
All right, well, there you have it, folks. Batman.
We buried it.
We buried the Batman.
We buried this Batman. Bat Chad, what are we doing next week?
Nothing.
Cool. There you have it, folks. We got a week off.
It's actually shows as a Benny pick. You got anything that you've had in mind, Benny?
Ooh, there we go. Let's do a Benny pick.
Mm-hmm.
Put you on the spot.
Yeah.
What about Heartbreak Ridge, Ben?
Oh, God.
Dude,
oh, my God, dude. Yes. Let's do Heartbreak Ridge.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that is.
It's a Clint Eastwood movie where he talks like this the entire goddamn movie.
Yeah. And he's called Gunny Highway.
Gunny.
Yeah, that's great.
Gunny Highway did a little smoking when he was younger, Chad.
It's got Mario Van Peebles.
Totally Stitch Jones, the Ayatollah of rock and roller.
Rock and roller. Yeah, it's kind of bad, but it's kind of good.
No, it's just kind of fucking great. I don't know.
It's a little on the cheesy side, but it's really good.
I feel like we're gonna go heavy in on this nostalgia, and Chad's gonna watch this thing and be like, "What the fuck were you thinking?"
That's what it sounds like.
That's my prediction for next week, folks.
That's what it sounds like. All right. Well, as long as you guys do Clint Eastwood the whole time, it'll be all right.
You get to watch Clint Eastwood read Cosmo to try and figure out how to get his ex-wife back.
Nice.
That kind of thing.
Because he's an army guy and he drinks a lot.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Gets into trouble.
Heartbreak Ridge it is.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's got Everett McGill in it, too. We could, look, at the very least, you could listen to Ben and I talk like that for an hour and a half.
What's not to like?
What's not to like? Sign me up.
You know who will appreciate it is Umberto will appreciate it.
Okay.
You think?
He was pestering me about some Clint Eastwood movie, and I mentioned that one, and he was like, "Oh, I haven't thought of that in a long time." So
yeah, good. There you go. All right, folks. After a 5-minute deliberation, we have decided that it will be Heartbreak Ridge, starring Clint Eastwood, a Benny pick for next week. So, thanks for joining us for The Batman. Stay tuned next week for Heartbreak Ridge. So long.
See ya.
ciao.
Ciao. And that's going to wrap up this week's episode, folks. If you'd like to support the show, lots of great ways to do it. You can tell your friends, you can walk down the street shouting about it, or you can rate us and review us wherever you get your podcasts. You can also chuck us a buck on Patreon. That's right, patreon.com/EBD podcast. Chuck a buck. Don't forget to smash those like buttons.
Smash them.
You can follow us on social media, anywhere. We are...
No, just Instagram. Come on.
All right, whatever. We're on Instagram at EBD Podcast. You can find the show notes for this episode in your podcast app of choice, or at our website, ebd.fm/episodes/156. What do I say next? Thanks for joining us.
Sure.
For the Batman, and we'll see you next week for
Heartbreak Ridge.
So long, folks.
One for C-Lab, two for Heego, three for Wolverine to round out the trio. In this episode, everybody dies.
Beady, beady, beady. Stop into it.
All this talk about assholes makes you want to go get a protein bar.